Emma Thompson sat in the back row of the Galactic Academy's Advanced Combat Techniques class, doodling in her notebook while Professor Vexalan demonstrated the ultimate killing stance of his species. The other students, representatives from 40 different worlds, watched with rapt attention as the insectoid instructor's 6 arms moved in perfect synchronization. Combat, Professor Vexalan clicked his mandibles, is about speed, strength, and precision. The warrior who moves fastest, strikes hardest, wins. Emma yawned, not out of disrespect, but because she'd been up late studying for her xenobiology exam. At 15, she was the youngest student ever admitted to the academy, and the only human. Earth had joined the Galactic Federation just 3 years ago, and she was supposed to be some sort of diplomatic gesture, proof that Deathworlders could be civilized. Miss Thompson, the professor's compound eyes focused on her. Perhaps you'd like to demonstrate what your species considers combat technique? Not really, Emma said quietly, not looking up from her sketch of a butterfly. I'm good. The class erupted in chittering laughter. Humans were already a joke, soft, squishy things from a world that tried to kill them daily. They had no natural weapons, no armor, no acid spit or venomous barbs. Just meat wrapped in thin skin. I insist, Professor Vexalan said, his tone suggesting this wasn't a request, perhaps a practical demonstration. Gorik stood. 7 feet of Thraxian muscle, covered in natural armor plating that could deflect plasma bolts. He was the Academy's combat champion, undefeated in 200 matches. His 4 eyes gleamed with anticipation. Standard rules, the professor announced. First to yield or become incapacitated loses. Emma sighed, closed her notebook, and stood up. She didn't move to the combat circle. She just stood there, by her desk, looking bored. You need to enter the circle, Gorik growled. No, I don't, Emma said calmly. You can come to me if you want. Or not. I really don't care. The class laughed again. Gorik's plates flushed purple with rage. He charged. Emma didn't move. She just watched him coming, calculating. 3 seconds before impact, she spoke. Your left knee was injured last semester. It still bothers you when the atmospheric pressure drops below standard. Today's pressure is 0.3 below normal. Gorik stumbled, his charge faltering as he unconsciously shifted weight off his left leg. Your species requires direct line of sight for balance, Emma continued in the same bored tone. Your 4 eyes give you excellent range, but if someone knows the blind spot 12 degrees below your primary field of vision, she flicked her pencil. It landed precisely in that blind spot. Gorik instinctively jerked back, his balance completely disrupted. He crashed into a desk. You breathe through spiracles along your thorax, Emma said, still not moving from her spot. The cleaning solution they use in this room contains a mild alkaloid that causes those spiracles to spasm if you breathe too heavily. You're breathing heavily now. Gorik tried to stand but started choking, his spiracles indeed spasming. He fell to his knees. But here's the really interesting part, Emma said, finally taking a single step forward. Your species evolved as pursuit predators. Your psychology is built around the chase. When prey doesn't run, your brain doesn't know how to process it. Your neural pathways literally freeze for 0.7 seconds while trying to recalculate. She took another step. Gorik tried to move but found himself paralyzed, not by any physical force, but by his own evolutionary programming. Humans, Emma said, now standing over the kneeling warrior, evolved differently. We persistence hunted. We didn't need to be fast or strong. We just needed to understand our prey, track it, know it, exploit it. She reached down and tapped a spot just below his second left eye. Pressure point. Your species has a nerve cluster here that, when pressed, triggers your hibernation reflex. Gorik's eyes rolled back, and he collapsed, unconscious. The classroom was dead silent. Emma walked back to her desk, sat down, and reopened her notebook. Humans don't fight, she said, going back to her butterfly sketch. We engineer victory conditions. Big difference. Professor Vexalan's 6 arms trembled. How did you know all that? Emma shrugged. I did my homework, studied every species in this class, memorized their anatomies, their instincts, their weaknesses. That's what humans do. We're not strong, so we have to be smart. We're not fast, so we have to be prepared. We're not armored, so we have to ensure the fight's over before it starts. She looked up at the class, making eye contact with each terrified student. We call it thinking. You should try it sometime. The next day, Emma's combat class was surprisingly empty. Word had spread. The Deathworlder girl who could destroy you with a pencil and a few words. Emma didn't mind. It gave her more room to spread out her drawings.